turned it up and have really been showing their A game here, as LunatiK hasn't been able to crack the code here. They've had close games, but still just not able to win a map here. So we'll see SKDC coming through to this B site here. Slemmy did start things off by taking down Scout, though. Drawsol comes right back with one. CEVO getting two through the door with his Scout, and Drawsol taking down the last one, which was Slemmy, and now it is all left up to Els, who's in mid, and Invert finishes it off with a 1-dig, and what a response from LunatiK to come right back onto that round, stealing the second round away from SKDC. CEVO just going off inside of that B bomb site with that Scout, and they're going to grab all of their weapons here, just taking that away from SKDC, and now we are tied up at 1-1. And if you are LunatiK, that is a response that you 100% needed to come back with.
So yeah, I mean, that's a crazy round. Those 2 Scout kills, that Deagle headshot, just insane. And now it's just going to force SKDC on basically a double save. I mean, anytime you win that first, lose second, and this is the type of situation you put yourself in. That's why the second round can be so dangerous, and SKDC is going to come out on the short end of that stick.
So SKDC, they have themselves lined up into mid here, trying to get some sort of entrance onto Cat. Those Scouts will at least deny one player there. That was Slemmy, and a nade comes through and lands right on the faces of the players that were sitting on Cat. I think it was just Ruru there. Scouts is going to find Stewie as he was trying to jump up onto the Cat box. So now L's flying off of Cat, got a good shot into Invert, but eventually falls to his death there. Was able to grab one frag, though, so Drawsol coming through with the last one, takes out Ocean, and that will be 2-1 here for LunatiK, only losing one player in the process there.
Yeah, so, you know, the repercussions still being faced by SKDC for losing that second round. Will be forced to save here yet again. So LunatiK a great opportunity to get that 3-1 lead here from the CT side of D2. As, you know, they could use this win to at least tie this series. Yeah, they did lose that first map, but a win here could at least, like I said, tie them that series. And so we'll see if they can do, in fact, that. And SKDC hasn't had the best showing on D2 in our league. In fact, I think they've lost it all 3 times they've played it.
Yep.
Between their matches against Nylon, CLG, and Affinity. So, I mean, this is an opportunity for LunatiK to maybe get SKDC on a map they've struggled on so far this season.
Certainly is a good opportunity for them so far, doing pretty well here. Scouts and CEVO team up to find those last 2 frags. Drake had a good hold there on Cat as well. Was able to find a couple of frags with his AK off the start of the round. So LunatiK's building up that economy quite nicely, though. SKDC is going to come back out here with a full buy on the rifles off of this round now, as LunatiK leads it 3-1 after stealing that second round from SKDC.
Yeah, a couple of Molotovs here for SKDC. Could see it used to clear out the A bomb site, you know, from Goose or something like that. So that could be the play you're seeing. It's like a late play to A. They're just clearing out B tunnels to eventually go mid to Cat, use those Molotovs to clear out the A bomb site and attack that way. At least that's one of the ways it could be used. But oh my goodness, Scouts!
Wow.
What a crazy, random, lucky shot there, Scott. And that's actually one of the Molotovs down. So I don't know if it'll get recollected here by someone else, but you do see them trying to come up. Cat, Invert, playing the elevator there, did spot that and tries to just kind of fall back safely. Drake will watch the cross with the M4, and Stewie will take him down. Invert remains alive. Oh, the headshot to the top of that Cat crossing. Oh my goodness, scope headshot on the Ocean. And man, oh man, what those shots are insane.
Oh, that was unreal from Invert. Did a good job helping stop that push there. So that makes it a 2 versus 2. Thanks to the AWP of Invert. Drawsol on Xbox here in mid does take down Els just barely. Actually, Els didn't even manage to get a shot into him, and Drawsol will get the last one on to Slemmy there, and making it 4-1 here. Great work from Invert, as well as the rest of the players there on LunatiK, finishing off that round now in a 4-1 game.
Yeah, Scouts, you know, kicking it off with that crazy headshot to just smoke at the double doors, and then, yeah, Invert just putting on a clinic with the op. Just some really cool headshots at close range. And that could be such a difficult angle for an opper to be able to get shots off of when you're playing that slope, and you can just barely spot the top of their heads when they're crossing Cat, and he was able to find one of those headshots. That was pretty crazy op there from Invert. As now we do see another save from SKDC. Drake getting very aggressive on the catwalk. We'll find Stewie at lower, and that nade gonna find some damage as well. And I think he hears Els jumping up on him, but oh, Ruru from the back able to fit a nice 50-50 headshot in there. But still, LunatiK has a pretty good advantage here, 4 versus 3, going into this save round.
As you said it, 4 versus 3 here. Ocean still hanging out inside of tunnels along with his teammates. Haven't really made any decisive play towards the site, though it looks like it will be B. Els wants to try and come out of mid with this M4 that he has. He actually had a good flash out there, though. Scouts playing back by Carr was able to get 2, and now it is just going to be Els who trying to make his way out of mid, though he's going to get sandwiched by a few players here in just a second. He's actually sitting inside of spawn. Got some good damage out onto Invert, but there's just too many bodies around for him to deal with. So LunatiK here having a strong CT side here to start things off. Haven't lost one since picking up that second round. Have been perfect since, so now they lead this one 5-1.
Yeah, LunatiK have a pretty solid lead. We are going to see the op being brought up for the first time here by SKDC on that T side. Of course, we've been seeing Invert do some work with it here for his team on the CT side, but now Slimmy will try to take a stab at it here. He does spot a couple across, but no opportunities to really take a shot. And so he'll just kind of patrol and hold mid. Now the rest of his team is just kind of setting up in these default positions, just watching for B aggression, which is actually coming in. Scouts is going to press, which also not too far lag behind, but Stewie will just get that one headshot and fall back before Scouts can make any type of trade. And that's the risk you take when you do that aggression to B tunnels. If you'd have been towards that T-spawn character, maybe you could trade that, but because he's lower B, Stewie able just to escape, and now he's going to find another kill up Cat as well. That's actually now 3 kills for Stewie on the rounds. Just able to fall back lower tunnels and get some kills over towards mid and Cat. Great work here, as SKDC are just going to finish the save bomb site.
Slimmy wants to try and open things up, but Invert says no to Els at least, but he's getting pressured from long as well as Cat here. He's going to get sandwiched in here. Stewie takes him down. That's a 4K on the round for him, and Ocean finishes things off by taking out Drossel, but great work from Stewie on that round there, and Ocean will be able to pick up that op for his teammates, so they're going to be running a double op setup here. It seems SKDC will now, as they've made it a 5-2 game overall.
Yeah, curious to see what they're going to do with the double op. I mean, I know a team like Fnatic on T-side double op will, you know, put JW at mid while Olaf tries to take picks into the B site, or you could see one go long off a spawn and the other kind of watch mid. That's what they're kind of doing, you know. Slimmy kind of watching mid. You did see Stewie try to go for the pick at long A, but didn't quite find it. Invert going to be playing here. Stewie actually taking down the 20 HP. This nade could finish him off. Just barely gets out of the way of that. I think he took actually 2 hits off of it, 2 hit points there, so down to 18. But the aggression from Scouts at mid off that pop flash, great peek there, great kill. And so far, SKDC cannot get it back, though that spam through the door did take Invert down to 14.
This is SKDC with a strong presence inside of mid right now. They have 1 up Cat and 3 just sitting around inside of mid right now, but not too much action going on as of yet. 55 seconds left on the round for them to work with, though. Ocean throws a molly off over towards the CT spawn, but not much of a push coming through for them yet. Getting ready to come out of mid, though. Possibly a mid to B play here for SKDC, but there's just mollies all over the place, making it tough for them to move through here. Kind of stuck right on the outside of the mid. There is a player up in window that they are aware of. Ocean is able to take care of him. They're finding his head through a bit of the rock. Invert gets an op shot off onto the players trying to enter that B site, and Drossel is inside of the B tunnels, able to take care of Ocean as he was trying to plant the bomb, I believe, and they will now have to put that in the hands of Stewie in this 2 versus 4 situation, as Stewie very hurt here, only 18 health. CEVO still can't seem to find that frag on him through the door here, so he's trying to at least get this bomb off. Slemmy saving his teammate's life, picking up 2 frags as well, but Drossel coming through and getting that last one, as that will be another round right back over to LunatiK here, making it 6-2.
Yeah, I mean, SKDC trying to do that mid to B, and it just was not effective because Drossel was able to remain alive inside B tunnels that whole time. So SKDC not having any control of the tons, it just allows LunatiK to be able to attack them from multiple angles. And you saw Invert being able to get these op picks, and there's another one there at mid. I mean, he was able to spot over that smoke and TP spawn and get some kills on those guys running mid to B. So it forces SKDC yet onto another save, and we have Drake and CEVO with a nice little crossfire here from A-Plat and Game Helper. And looks like they are going to go ahead and just kind of rack up all these frags. Slimmy already just left all on his lonesome. He throws the bomb out there. I guess that was his version of a white flag. I'm not really sure, but maybe he was trying to go for, you know, the fake flash swag play, but with the bomb instead of a pistol. You know, I don't know.
Might as well.
Yeah, I mean, see if you can't catch someone turned around. I mean, I don't know. It's about all you can hope for, I guess, at that point. But 7-2 here in favor of LunatiK. They played quite well so far on the CT side, especially Invert with this op. He's just been kind of nutty, to be honest.
Yeah, he's really been turning it up here in this game. Slemmy playing really aggressive right outside of mid, able to get one on the scouts. They had the boost going to look up onto Cat, but Drossel will exchange on that frag with him, so we're looking at a 4 versus 4 here. Invert still rocking with that off, able to find Stewie as well. L's trying to play the edge of the smoke, but Drake says no to that, and he still has 2 more players coming up onto this catwalk right now that he's going to have to deal with. But they decide to back themselves off as we're in this 2v4.
These are just too many individual efforts here from SKDC. One guy, you know, by himself mid, gets killed, no one there to trade. A guy just by himself peeks Cat, gets killed, no one to trade. I mean, they're not like traveling in packs or doing anything together. Now here finally with their last 2 players remaining, they're making things happen. Ruru just getting some great individual frags here to get into the game bomb style with Ocean. That bomb will get planted. But CEVO from long on the retake will find Ruru and just leaving Ocean now in a 1 versus 2. Invert will be coming up to Cat. CEVO still putting on the pressure from long. And Ocean is going to get pinched here from both sides. He's trying to see what he can do, but there's too much pressure coming in. He's eventually going to fold, and LunatiK will continue to build up on this big lead right now, about to be 8-2. So looking quite impressive here on D2. And SKDC, their struggles on D2 seem to still be relevant here.
Yeah, as we were saying before, you pointed out earlier that they have not won once in CEVO play on Dust 2. They're 0-3 on D2, and it's kind of surprising for them to come through and pick a map like that. But I mean, all the maps that were left in play for them were all maps that they were 0-3 on, I believe.
And that's why NA teams need to start embracing some of these other maps, like Train, you know, like Overpass, because the bottom line is when it comes to the ban and pick phase, when everyone's literally always banning Cobble, Overpass, you know, Mirage, Train, it only leaves Inferno, D2, Mirage, and Cash. So there's only 4 maps being played, and the majority is in A games, and that's just such a limited map pool. Especially if you're not successful on one of them or something. You're really just restricting yourself, but either way, we have kind of a broken buy out of SKDC, already lost a couple of players, but they're still trying to make their way up along A. So far, quite successfully, as L with this Tech 9's and a lot of damage, gets a kill, as well as taking Drake down very low. And SKDC will get into this site, but Ocean will once again be in a 1 versus 2, and he tries to plant for Cat, but you're also just waiting for him, and it's down behind the 2 in favor of LunatiK.
They're just rolling with it right now. They have a good economy set up too. CEVO has over 10K. That will go down here in a minute, I believe. I don't know if he's bought yet, but actually he may have. I don't know. No, he didn't yet, but still, they have some decent money left over here, and SKDC is going to once again be on a save here. 3 Tech 9s and a couple of P250s. Only a couple sets of armor. It looks like it'll be just a straight B rush. They're just going straight through the molly here, seeing what they can find inside of the site. Drossel here finds 1, gets a 2nd as well. Scouts comes to his aid from mid, and that is an easy hold for LunatiK, now making it a 10-2 game. And, well, SKDC is going to have to get something going here soon. Need to grab a few more rounds on this first half.
Yeah, I mean, this is one of those maps where there's so many opportunities to get rounds on T-side. In fact, this is probably one of the maps in the rotation where you have the most likely chance to get T-side rounds. I would say, like, Cash is probably pretty up there as well next to this map. And obviously, like, Cobble has definitely trended very T-sided in the rotation. So, I mean, this is one of the maps where you are expected to be able to get a decent amount of T-side rounds to be successful, and SKDC have just not been able to do that. Only 2 rounds so far. And this is very reminiscent of something we've seen from them earlier this season, where they could barely, you know, get any rounds against some of the better teams on Dust 2 on their T-side as well.
They exchange frags out over on the catwalk here. Invert playing from down under with that op. Once again here, trying to hold off some of this Cat push. And Slemmy is on his op this round as well. We are looking at a 4 versus 4 situation there. Els pops out to help his teammate, taking down scouts in mid, so that'll be a 4 versus 3 for them. but still no site push coming out of SKDC yet. They are lined up in mid here. Tivu's going to be playing from the CT spawn side. Kind of difficult for him, but I think SKDC wants to go ahead and try and take this into the A site here. They have 3 players up on Cat. Els is going to be playing in mid as well, kind of lurking around, but Invert with that off is going to try and shut down this push here, as Slemmy was able to get one. Stewie grabbing a frag as well, now just leaving it all up to Drossel, as he needs to try to find his way into the site from Catwalk here. He'll be getting up onto it in just a second, able to take down Stewie. Now on a 1 versus 1, but Slemmy popping out from behind the box, grabbing the op for his teammates as well for the next round, and that will be a much-needed round for SKDC right there. Now a 10-3 game still, LunatiK with that pretty comfortable lead.
Yeah, I mean, you have to wonder if it's a little bit too late for SKDC. I mean, they've already given up 10 rounds, but hopefully they can at least work to win out this half, make it 10-5, and at least make it respectable, and at least give themselves a chance on their own CT side. It's Slimmy, nice shot there on the invert. Who Invert's been quite the terror for them. He's done quite well at the top on the CT side, but he gets shut down very early in that round thanks to Slimmy. They're also getting a little bit aggressive here, and B-Tunnels will find himself 1 frag and a lot of information, but Tivu tries to press through long, and he's going to get caught by Ocean. And so now this great opportunities here for SKDC is we see Ruru kind of cutting off mid and that bomb coming up A, and I mean, Drossel's not in even any real position to have a shot at this round. I'd be surprised if he just doesn't. I mean, he has so much value and equipment that I'm sure he would just save this.
Yeah, he's pretty much loaded up on everything here. Slemmy is going to come in, put this bomb down, but you're right, Drossel just kind of hanging out here and trying to stay away from everything, keep himself alive. He's inside of B tunnels, but this will be another round going back over to SKDC. I mean, better late than never to try and pick up some of these rounds, but still, as you were saying last round, it's just kind of a little bit too late here. Oh, he got a good dink off onto Els, but oh, he couldn't even find that frag either, and that really hurts, as now they're going to be 10-4 still.
That would have been big if he could have saved that. I mean, that was like $5,000 worth of equipment that he had. He could have easily like dropped somebody if he could have saved that. Now, as you can see, they're just forced on only 2 guys with them forced, 1 FAMAS, a scout. They could have had at least 1 extra rifle this round, obviously, if not 2. So this is like I said, great opportunity for SKDC to at least kind of make this somewhat better.
Ocean's pushing up on the Cat, does start things off by taking down Invert, who has been dynamite so far in this game, and they want to try and take this on the Cat, but the Scout says no, rocking with that 5-7, takes down Ocean as well as Ruru, shutting down the Cat push. Now that'll be 4 versus 3 in favor of LunatiK, and Elza's going to go down to Tivu as well, so LunatiK making something out of this round, and Drake taking down Stewie as well, all left up to Slemmy up on Cat.
I mean, they're just playing like 5-1 players instead of like a team. I mean, they're just all peeking individually and no one there to trade. I mean, like, how many people just peek by themselves at Cat right there? I mean, you're just kind of not giving yourself a chance to win. You got to run out there and take Cat together. Like, no elite level team does that. And in a, I don't think we have any elite level teams in A right now, but no elite level team in professional CS would do that, would just feed 1 player at a time like that. It's just not going to get you anywhere, and it leaves LunatiK winning that last round.
Yeah, so that's certainly a problem there. They've been doing it all maps so far here, really just not, like, kind of discombobulated, I guess, so to speak, just really haven't been playing together, and LunatiK easily takes advantage of it on that CT side. They'll just grab one right after the other. You know, they're saying, feed me, give me those frags, you know, it's easy pickings for them, and that has given them that 11-4 lead on this half here, and going into the CT side, it's just going to make things so much easier for them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if that's happening because there's, like, miscommunication. Like, the player who's peeking thinks that everyone else is about to follow him, and they're going to, you know, make that kind of play. Or if it's just a player being undisciplined and just kind of, you know, peeking by himself when he's maybe told not to, or maybe he isn't told anything, so that that's his natural inclination. Either way, it's just not a very effective way to play it. You got to be out there together, multiple targets, you know, taking the advantage. Numbers-wise, but either way, LunatiK going to start off here 11-4 into this second half. They've looked quite good. Their CT side was on point. Invert with the op was definitely playing really well, and I mean, generally everyone was playing pretty well. I mean, the frag distribution on that team is pretty tight right now. Only like maybe a 3 or 4 kill difference between each player. So, like I said, everyone playing really tight there on that CT side.
Yeah, really good spread on the frags there. And now SKDC in a bit of a hole here, and LunatiK has a good opportunity to at least set themselves up with a tie on the night here, especially if they can come out with this pistol round here. But LunatiK wants to take it straight up towards A right now, and the rotation's coming through from SKDC. But they have a good smoke on that cross there and can't really do much of anything to try and stop them from getting through to the A site here. So they're going to send 2 back towards long. LunatiK will, but Stewie starts things off with a nice headshot from his USP, continuing to try and wreak a little bit of havoc here. Drake pops the head off of Ocean, and Drossel able to find one as well. But SKDC coming back with 4 frags there, just wiping them out on that A site somehow. Was not
crazy.
expecting that, but the defuse coming through, and SKDC getting a much-needed pistol round.
Yeah, that was nuts, because, I mean, SKDC just kind of, you know, on pistol rounds, sometimes you just gamble. You just aggress one side of the map, and you know that, hey, either we'll run into some people and get some kills and break them early, or we'll at least get, you know, crazy amounts of information very early in the round and allow ourselves to rotate quite quickly. And that's exactly what SKDC did. They pressed 2 players B tons. They didn't spot anybody, allowed them to flank long really quickly. And even though they gave up the site and a bomb plant, it was still like a 5 versus 5 at the end of that, with SKDC being already in all their retake positions quite early. And you just saw Stewie just go nutty with that USP out long A, man, just hitting some pretty nice headshots. And there you have it. SKDC able to retake and win the round. They're able to FAMAS up across the board. We are going to see LunatiK trying to attack out middle right now. No smoke on TP spawn, though, so Els is just going to be able to get a couple kills before any type of smoke deploys. But LunatiK still gets a kill, and they're able to start running into this B bomb site. It looks like they might get a second bomb plant. Plus, they picked up a couple of FAMASes, and they have a 2 versus 2. So, oh no, is SKDC really going to drop another second round? It's looking like maybe it is.
Oh, the LunatiK in such good position here, but they both come right out of the double doors. Ruru connecting on both of those frags. Dust, man, I don't know about that.
I don't know about that either, man. I mean, I guess it's one of those things where it was a 2 versus 2. They had low HP inside the site, so I guess they felt like they had to just try to catch SKDC off guard. And so they just had to flash both players out. Maybe they were thinking they were just going to get like an even trade, and then they would be like at worst a 1 versus 1 with a bomb down and like a player playing from outside B. I don't know. I'm not really quite sure. I guess maybe they thought that flash was going to be a bit more successful as well, but it didn't really blind Ruru at all.
Yeah.
So, there's all kinds of different things you could theory about why they did that, but yeah, it didn't work out.
No, unfortunately for LunatiK, it did not. It's such a good opportunity. At least got the bomb down on the round, though, which is now giving them an opportunity to buy up here. So they have 4 AKs across the board, as well as Invert back on that op, too, which he has been so effective using. Oh, CEVO able to get Ruru in through the smoke there. Invert going for the shot with the op, but just gets dinked and crushed by Stewie. Ocean able to get one as well. On to Drake now, making it a 3 versus 4 here in favor of SKDC.
Yeah, SKDC has the advantage after getting that pick over at long A. They also got a kill over at mid. And Stewie getting a 1v1 battle here with Drossel at the back of B tunnel. So, once again, now it's kind of LunatiK playing individualistic here. And not really playing together and kind of giving SKDC a shot in the round. So they do still have 3 AKs up. They have got another Tibu and company to try to cross out long. They're going to get 2 versus 1 against Slimmy inside the site. Meanwhile, Tibu catching Els rotating through CT spawn. But it allows Slimmy the time to kind of regather himself, and he'll be able to pull off a couple of frags because of that. And so now Drossel, who's that lone B Tunnels player, is all alone 1v3. He does get Stewie in the back here, but as far as winning this 1 versus 2, that's going to be tough with the bomb down way by quad box. There's only 15 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, Ocean shutting him down there over by the cross at the A site, so that is going to be SKDC slowly climbing themselves back in it here. And LunatiK now is going to be, well, we'll see what they decide to do with the money that they have. It's not too much, but SKDC surely in a good situation with guns and armor here this round. So 11-7 it is. LunatiK still in the lead here. LunatiK deciding to just opt for some P250s and a Tech 9 really, and try and save up for one of these later rounds. And
they're just gonna try to, they're just gonna try to explode out of B, but they're gonna get caught by a flash, and there's obviously a smoke up as well, and so just running into the blender that is the B bomb site in a situation like that, and it's all over real quick. And 11-8 is your score. LunatiK had that big lead from the first half, but it's starting to dwindle now. As SKDC is actually only 3 rounds away from tying this thing back up. So we may have a similar game to last game where it started out kind of one-sided but wound up quite close, and that's possible. We'll see that again here now.
Yeah, you kind of mentioned it before. It was SKDC on the first half. It was playing very individualistic, but now LunatiK seems to. You kind of noted on it. They're doing similar fashion here on the T side. I don't know what it is with the T side and Dust 2, but these teams just continue to play individually on this side here. And now it has put LunatiK in a bit of a hole on the second half. Oh, they are still in the lead. It's still just.
I mean, most of the best teams on D2, what you see them do is kind of travel in a pack with 3 players that kind of play mid-cat, and you have like maybe 1 player holding long, 1 player holding B-tons. Right. And that's kind of what you're seeing in this round here from LunatiK, is they had that pack, and they brought the guy holding long back off over towards Catwalk as well, and it's just going to be Drossel kind of lurking the tunnels here. And this is more like it. This is more like the play that you should see. But if they're going to go up cat, they just need to do it together and not peek 1 by 1. They just need to run out there as a pack and try to trade out.
Drossel is trying to make some noise towards this B site, though they have the rest of LunatiK over on this catwalk, and they have a 1-player advantage right now, though that is falling very quickly as they're shutting them down so hard over on that catwalk. There are 3 frags coming through.
Did Slimmy's fire kill 2 people? Oh my goodness.
That's...
I think actually what happened is he threw fire, and LunatiK ran out. They got blinded and tried to run back, because that's like some people's natural response to being flashed is to run back to their previous position. And when they did, they backtracked through Slimmy's fire, and 2 of them died off of that, I think.
Oh,
At least 1 did. I think 2 did, though. Chat to correct me on that. But it looked like 2 people backtracked through his fire and died. And that's big when you're trying to explode out cat and 2 of your people die from an incendiary.
Yeah, that hurts a lot. Yeah, it hurts your push getting into the site. So now SKDC has managed to climb them back in here. It is just 2 rounds away they are from tying things up, and the way it's been going, they could just continue to roll with this right now as LunatiK is on the on the save here. They only have a couple of Tech 9s, a Deagle, and just some P250s, really not much of anything to work with. Slemmy continues to rock with that op as he has been here for the past few rounds. So it's LunatiK starting, even though they are in the lead, they're still very much on the ropes here.
Yeah, and Ocean just, oh, you could get the ace actually, the Eco Ace. The valedictorian of summer school, there it is. Boom.
Yeah. Valedictorian of summer school, there he is. Mr. Ocean himself, and now
I think maybe that's an unfair comparison, actually. Maybe that's like too low. I'm trying to think of a way. It's like
it's close.
It's like having a really clean and like I'm trying to think of how I can put this like better than the valedictorian of summer school. Like it's like having a really crappy car with a fresh paint job and like all clean and decked out, but it's like a really crappy car.
Yeah.
Like a what was that car? Like there was like a car called the Pinto, I think, or something like that. It was like I don't know.
Oh anyway. Yeah, kind of poopy, but you know, it's I get what you're saying though. I think either of the comparisons work. Well, in case you're wondering, also, what the pause is here. I guess something with Stewie again. He's been having a couple issues here tonight, so he had to fix whatever it is that he is having his issues with. So it should just be a quick pause here, hopefully, but that still has us in this 11-10 position here, though. LunatiK is going to be able to buy up on this round, but their gun rounds really haven't been doing much of anything here recently. They really just have been struggling on the second half.
Oh, I mean, you're 100% right, man. I mean, the struggle is definitely real here for them on this half. I mean, they look so much in control, and then SKDC have won all 6 rounds so on the CT side. So LunatiK just let all that work and traction they had gained in the first half, that big lead they had, just slowly slip away, slip out of their hands.
tough spot to put yourself in now. And I was saying before, it's you know, they're in the lead, but they're very much, the pressure's kind of on them right now. SKDC is really just they're cruising right now. They have a decent economy built up. Even if they lose this round, they can buy again. But LunatiK's gonna be struggling a little bit here. They do have a little bit of money, and now we are unpaused, by the way, if you couldn't notice, but. You know, it's still LunatiK's in a tough spot here, and they want to try and work their magic towards the A site here. CEVO does start things off by finding one down there at long, and there will also be L's in the smoke. CEVO easily takes care of that one, so that'll be 2 players down already. Good start to the round for LunatiK here as they try to get themselves up cap, but that incendiary once again from Slemmy was able to take down Scouts. Draw Soul falling as well.
They're so separated from that bomb, they're all long. The bomb's on Cat.
Oh, yeah. That's going to make it a little difficult here, though. Invert has some opportunity to work something with his AWP, though they do have Stewie coming up on a Cat here. Good opportunity for him to get some frags, but not going to happen. They will smoke off Cat here, make things difficult for Stewie to get himself back in it, but he manages to find Drake through the smoke as they come in, and he gets the incendiary frag as well, and that is a tied-up game here that SKDC somehow managed to squeak out here, and 11-11 it is, all tied up.
Yeah, it's hard to say how this is going to go. I haven't seen anything from LunatiK that hints that they can get themselves around here on T side. I mean, they've just been getting demolished by SKDC CT side. As we are going to see long control being taken here, but thanks to some pop flashes by SKDC. But somebody misses his shot, will be forced to fall back, trying to use the smoke for cover to get back. But Ruru also there to help bail him out, and they're just going to hold firm on this smoke. Ruru going to flash through, barely avoids that fire. He could have easily died there with only 12 HP, but he remains alive. Drake gets lost in the smoke. And man, what a big play from Ruru there. That's a nice little hat trick round. He bailed Slimmy out, allowed Slimmy to get a kill, and got 3 of his own, so that was big.
Oh man, the way SKDC is rolling with it right now, I can, unless LunatiK turns something around here very quickly, and they're going to be on a save here once again. They want to try and save up their money for a big buy on the next round, but still, it's SKDC has all the momentum right now, all the momentum. They've just been cruising so far in this second half, and it's struggle for LunatiK here, but they're going to save up, try and get these guns for next round, and they got to work some magic.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I mean, you pretty much hit the nail on the head there. It looks like LunatiK gathering up to try to hit mid. They're going to swing off CT spawn, but a nice nade and a good incendiary as well, doing a lot of damage here to LunatiK as they try to come up mid. They do get an even exchange of frags so far, but I mean, these counter nades from SKDC have been on point, doing a lot of damage, and they're just going to kind of clean up with their rifles here. And there you have it, SKDC going up 13-11. They have not dropped a round yet. Winning all the rounds here in this half, which is, if I can do math properly, I think it's 9. So, yeah, I mean, yeah. It's looking pretty tough.
Oh man, this is a big round coming through here for LunatiK, a statement round. They need to get 1 on the board here on this T side. I don't know what their exact problem has been here so far, but it's a big one, whatever it is. It's certainly something to look at after this match is said and done. They going to have to try and keep themselves in it, though. Drake gets caught out in mid from a flash, a great flash that came through from SKDC, and his teammates were able to pick up on that frag to start things off, taking out Drake. So a 1-player advantage right away here, and Ruru able to find Invert in mid as well. But CEVO gonna come back, find 2 of his own over on Cap to even up the playing field here, making it a 3 versus 3 with the bomb down in mid, and they'll go back and grab that here in a second.
Yeah, so good job there from CEVO to kind of even out that early aggression from SKDC on the catwalk, which caught him off guard, got a couple of kills. And you're talking about what some of the things that are going wrong. Invert, I think, has only gotten 1 kill this entire half with the op, whereas last half he had 13 kills. So to only be able to produce 1 so far this second half out of now 10 rounds played, that's huge because he was big for them on the other half with that op. So that's definitely a little bit part of it here. But we did talk about just some of the individualistic plays also being made here at times. Both teams are guilty of that on their T sides at times. But either way, it's just that SKDC's also just played a really good CT side. There's no doubt about it.
Scouts with a good opportunity here. That is That is a big pick that they needed here onto Slummy on that site. So now it's a 3 versus 2. Ocean hiding inside of the smoke here. Got some good shots off on a CEVO, but couldn't quite convert on the frag. But the bomb is now down on this A site. Something else that LunatiK hasn't done too much of here in this half, but they do get the bomb down. And now it's going to be Ocean and Stewie that are going to try and prevent this from being just a 1-round lead, or excuse me, a 2-round lead that they have. And now CEVO is going to find Ocean over on Cat there, so things looking good for LunatiK right here. Stewie is going to be up just over by the ramp here, and now running himself away. He is going to catch CEVO out in the open, though, and now he's going to try and peek out long, see what he can find, but not enough time for him to work with on the round. He's going to fall here in just a second. Manages to get scouts, though, before things are all said and done. But LunatiK getting her first round. It took them this long, but first round of the second half here, though. SKDC still leading 13-12.
Indeed, they are. So, I mean, at least a round finally goes LunatiK's way. I mean, that's kind of the only thing I can really say there, but they need to find more. And Invert will catch Stewie crossing mid, so there you have it. I mean, all of a sudden, Invert went from only, well, he still only has 2 frags in the half. Never mind. But still, I mean, that was a big kill there to kind of, you know, make this B-bomb side a bit more exposed. Now Ocean has a tall order ahead to try to hold this thing off, though he is finally getting a rotation from Slimmy, who was able to pick up one. Ocean still alive here at the card. He hasn't been spotted yet, and he will be able to line up a frag. But it's still a 3 versus 1 here for LunatiK. The bomb going down here in B, and they should be able to close this thing out and make it 13 all.
Ruru looking like he wants to go for it, though. He's sitting outside of the double doors. Drake might be able to come here on the flank onto him, as he's going to have a very good look at him here in just a second. Oh, he is going to turn around, though. Find Drake now, making it a 1 versus 2. Though Ruru is going to have to work quickly if he still wants to manage to squeak this one out, though I don't think he's going to attempt it. He's backing himself up into mid here, so LunatiK is going to tie this thing up. Took him a while to get going, but now we're going to tie it up at 13-13.
Indeed we are, and now I don't know where this game is headed, because it looked like SKDC was just about to coast to a victory after winning the first 10 rounds in a row, but here they've given up the last 2, and all of a sudden LunatiK has tied it back up at 13 all, and you know, at this point, money's still okay for SKDC. They're still going to be able to get a full buy here, and of course, you know, LunatiK holding on to some guns. They're going to be all right as well. I don't know where we go from here, man. I mean, this could easily turn into some type of overtime situation if both these teams kind of follow the trends of the last, like, 4 rounds.
Certainly could. It's been tight here into the latter half of the second half here, and SKDC, I'm sure, a bit frustrated to drop those last 2 rounds as they've just been coasting on this second half here, but now LunatiK starting to build up a bit of momentum of their own here as they were struggling, but now have won 2 in a row to tie it up at 13 all. So I'll see what LunatiK decides to do with it on this round. They do have some pushed up onto Cat here, and Els is going to be the man watching that. So still not really much of anything. LunatiK wants to take their time here, make sure not to mess anything up, but I'm sure we'll be seeing some sort of an A play here shortly.
Yeah. Looks like they are gathered up at Cat, as you said. Some flashes coming over here, and they're just going to run out together. They're all blind, but the run out together is the point, and this looks much better. At least for the individual piece we saw them earlier as they tried to take their way up Cat. We did have TV try to drop down. He does get caught by Ocean playing in the CT spawn, but the spawn will still get planted for Cat, and they have a strong presence on the catwalk here and over towards Quad. Now, Ruru trying to flank around from long A. Does get one.
Actually tied up at a 3 versus 3 here on this round. Now Scout should be able to find Ocean. He does, and Invert will take down Ruru, so Stewie's going to have to back himself out of this situation, knows that he can't win it in this 1 versus 3. Just a bit too tough here, so he'll get out, try and save that M4 and some of the armor that he has. But now LunatiK, what I was not expecting, I should say, at all, is now they're taking back the lead, now making it a 14-13 game. And I liked what you said there. That it was a much better looking push from them, wasn't it? I mean, coming out of Cat like that with actually as a team instead of 1 by 1.
Yeah, because like there was one round where they tried to do the exact same thing, but then they had some nice counter flash to SKDC as well as an incendiary that got placed, and it's like they got scared because of the counter nades, and they actually backtracked back to Cat instead of pushing together to a site. And they ran back through Slimmy's fire, and a couple of them died because of it. That round, yeah, the counter flashes came in, but they just kept going. And I bet that was a call from someone on their team saying, hey, we just got to go this time, guys. Like, we can't fall back. Like, we can't be scared. We just got to go. And they did. And, yeah, you might be blind, but someone on your team's not, and you're still a body out there. You're still a target that they have to worry about, multiple targets to pick from. And if they pick to shoot at a guy who's blind and leave a guy who's unblind uncontested, you win that trade all of a sudden. And there you have it. LunatiK able to just walk out Cat. They planted for Cat. That's a really strong play. You see that type of play a lot from some of the best teams on D2, like Envious or Fnatic, who like to do those strong cat pushes. Same with Nip, and that one came up big for LunatiK.
So 14-13 it is. LunatiK now has taken the lead from that tie, and they're trying to push into the B site here, though. A lot of damage has already gone out onto Drake. Stewie trying to hold this one down, at least till his rotates can get over here. And Ocean has come to his aid, though. They stopped the push over on that B side, have backed themselves up into tunnels here, and Invert's still trying to lurk around in mid, seeing what kind of picks he can get, though. A bit of damage already coming out onto LunatiK here, so a bit favorable for them. And actually, Ruru pushed all the way outside of Lawn, able to find one, getting a second onto Scouts as well. And that is a great way to start getting a third one, yet Ruru is inside of mid.
Wow.
Finally ending his reign of terror, but still a great flank for him to come out in through the double doors there at Long.
I can't believe that was so effective. Invert spotted him pushing Long, and I can't believe his team didn't pick up on that better. But luckily, I mean, at least TV's in a 1 versus 2. This is somewhat winnable, but that was a great angle on him. And, they had good positioning on him there. So now it's 14-14, and that was just crazy that Ruru didn't get punished faster with Invert spotting and coming out of Long. I figured he'd alert his team that was coming out of lower tunnels to realize that Ruru could be at top mid. And it looked like they kind of were peeking him, but they just couldn't get any shots on him. And that was a big play from Ruru. Good aggression.
A huge play from him, picking up a much-needed 3K on the round. As you said, tied things up here, 14-14. It has just been back and forth towards the end of the second half here. LunatiK turned it on late and have managed to get themselves back into it here. Ocean does find Invert as he tried to play aggressive in through the double doors, so now that will give SKDC this one-player advantage to start the round off, but LunatiK getting ready, it looks like, to make some sort of a play, maybe out of mid or something. They have a couple of AKs and a Galil and a Tech 9 here, so a bit of a spread there, but they will swap out that Galil for the AK, so a push out of mid here. They're actually doing it quite slowly. L's over there in spawn. He might be able to catch Scouts out. Oh, he takes down both of them. Taking down Scouts, but he gets L's as well in the process. I guess he kind of had to. Or Scouts would have died anyway, I suppose. But
and that's sometimes a danger of trying to work out mid when you don't have like a smoke on CT spawn. You have to do that engagement. I mean, I know they were walking out properly together, like each peeking the other side, slowly working out together. That was definitely a good play, but yeah, he just tried to go for the kill, and he caught his teammate in the crossfire. Now SKDC has a huge advantage here, as we see LunatiK just try to spill into the B, but Stewie just spotting all of it from the back of Plat, able to pick off a couple of frags, and he's looking for his third here as TV tries to cross over the site, and he will get caught by Stewie. Nice hat trick there for him to anchor the B site, and now it is Sapphire Kelowna at map point, and actually a chance to win the match and 2-0 this, their first victory of the season.
They certainly have the opportunity. A lot of that, at least on this map here, is to the credit of Stewie, who's really just been dynamite here on this second half so far. Really coming up with some big frags. Yeah, he's just been playing lights out here. So huge credit to him for SKDC's success here so far, though. It's not over yet. They need to find one more round, and here comes the aggressive A-long push from LunatiK, trying to keep themselves into the game, preventing falling here. But they've already lost 2 players on this push, only managed to find one, and that was on to Slummy. Invert's going to need to go huge with this scout here. He falls all the way at the back of Long. The bomb is back there, and it is just left up to Drawsoul. He has an M4, but he's very hurt, only 28 health, and it looks like SKDC somehow pulls that win out after going 11-4 down on the first half and almost closing it out, and LunatiK brought themselves back, but SKDC, in the end, closing it out 16-14 there, and man, what a game.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite a game. I mean, both instances, we had games that started out very one-sided, but wound up, coming down to the last couple of rounds. quite the nail biters there that we just saw, actually. So it was definitely a cool match to be gifted with there between these two teams and how close they wound up playing. And yeah, SKDC getting their first win on the season off of two 16-14 victories. So as we said, very, very close games. And we definitely appreciate all of you for tuning in. Thanks so much, folks. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow, as starting tomorrow morning at, I believe it is, actually, no, starting tomorrow at 1 p.m. Central Time, 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We do have NIP taking on Gamers 2 over on the EU side of things. And then tomorrow night, I will be back with you folks. I don't know who I'm casting with, but I'll be back tonight with Tempo Storm taking on Method, and then Affinity taking on Nylum. So another double header for NA Pro League tomorrow night as well. And this is pretty much what happens every Sunday through Thursday. We have an EU double header during the day, North American time, and then we have the doubleheader at night for the NA teams, both best of twos. So definitely check that out Sunday through Thursday by following up here on mlgtv.playcevo or /playcevo, excuse me. And of course, we do have the LAN at the end of July for that 135K, which is what all these teams are playing for right now to qualify for that event. So be on the lookout for basically almost daily coverage throughout the rest of the summer for Season 7 Pro League. Any words from you over there, Gecks?
Pleasure as always, man. Good to watch some good CS tonight. Definitely make sure you guys are checking back every day, because there's always going to be somebody casting, somebody streaming, always games going on. So make sure you tune in. But it was a pleasure as always, Dust. I'm sure I'll be seeing you again sometime soon. But shout out to Helium as well for producing tonight. Keeping his cool as well through all the problems that he was having with his internet and stuff like that. So big shout out to that guy for keeping us live tonight.
Yeah, you'll definitely be seeing a lot of me now. I'll be doing this full time now, actually, as well as Helium, who's been doing it full time for a little while. So definitely support us if you don't mind. I put out a lot of my own content too on my personal YouTube, so you can follow me at Dust Moret. I'll be releasing some vlogs and some videos this week on there in relation to Cloud9's performance at Gfinity, as well as working on some pieces. I'm working on a Who is Skadoodle video, just talking about the history of that player throughout time. And I'm working on different series and stuff like that, so be on the lookout for all that cool stuff, if you don't mind, at Dust Moret. And also give a follow over here to my co-caster as well, which you have 2 different Twitters. So which one are you using?
I've consolidated to one now, at Anthmiz, ANTHMIZZ, so you can follow me over there. So I'm just on one now. Make things easier.
That is way easier.
Yeah.
But anyway, thanks a lot for tuning in, everyone. Hopefully you'll follow up and we'll catch you again soon. But we are signing out until next time. Have a good night.